Imagine you went to Dragon's Den or Shark Tank to pitch your business, and when it was time to present your idea, your mind went blank.
What was the profit?
I don't know.
You're ticking the make-all.
I'm getting hacked off. I'm out.
I'm out.
And the investors laughed at you and waved goodbye. Forgetting crucial information loses you deals, damages your credibility, and can wipe out everything you've built. Just like that. If you want to always be known and trusted as the expert you are, remembering key facts and stats under pressure is non-negotiable. I'm Nima, and for decades I interviewed business leaders on BBC World and other TV channels, and for over 20 years I've been teaching experts and entrepreneurs to remember critical information effortlessly. In this video, I show you simple frameworks to structure your thoughts so you never stumble when it matters most, tactics to remember your key points, and my foolproof rescue method for when things fall apart so you don't. First, let me show you how to figure out your most important information so you can easily recall it and stay sharp and in control when it matters most. Here's framework number 1. This is a series Picasso called The Bull. You can see that he starts with a detailed, realistic image. Then he simplifies it and ends up with a few lines that you instantly recognize as the bull, the basic essence of it. The first bull, with all the detail, muscles, anatomy, texture, this is the information in your head. It's what you know, what you do, everything you want to communicate. But it's challenging to remember it all and can quickly become overwhelming. Now, I get clients to simplify everything they want to get across into 3 words that are the essence, the summing up of what they want to communicate. For example, the 3 words that simplify what I'm sharing here are framework, remember, relax. Now, I can change one of them to suit the situation. For example, relax can become result if that's more important to the person I'm communicating with. Each word triggers information in my mind. I'll show you how to attach layers and depth to your words in the next framework. Now, if you're speaking with a client, the words could be benefit, the benefit, what they get from working with you, why they should care, why it's important to them, and the action they need to take. For example, these 3 points can be mine if I'm speaking with a potential client. 50%, success, workshop. Here's how it works. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett believes that communication skills increase your net worth by 50%. Communication is the foundation of your success. Sign up to my workshop to become a better communicator. Now, if you're speaking with an investor, your 3 words could be profit, the problem the product solves, how big the market is. Framework number 1 is simplify what you want to get across to 3 key words. Stating your 3 words at the start and end of your piece is a great way to embed them and the information they relate to in the mind of the person you're communicating with. Plus, if you get stuck or go off track, they can guide and prompt you to say the right thing. But you want to have more than 3 words to lean on and bring up to establish yourself as the expert in your niche, especially when your mind wobbles. Let me show you how to start layering complicated information in a simple way that helps you remember it easily with framework number 2. This filing cabinet is your brain. The pieces of paper are everything that you know, stats, facts, figures, your qualifications. It's a nightmare trying to find something if it's not arranged in a certain way. I've been looking for this for ages. What you need is a system that stores and groups relevant things together. It's the same when you communicate. To clearly and quickly access information, you need to know what you're looking for, where to find it, and how to connect it to details so that it makes sense, gives context and depth, instantly and without breaking a sweat. Now, I created a simple framework to help you do exactly this. It's based on an image because your brain loves them and is amazing at processing them. Let me show you how it works. Now, before you create your communication piece, it could be a pitch, you talking on stage, or being a guest on a podcast. Think to yourself, if people forget everything you say and remember only one thing, what is it? Define this. This is your solid, unchanging, supportive tree trunk. Next, you want to whittle down everything that you want to get across into the essence of what you want to share. These are your words. You want 3 words. The words are your branches, okay? So word 1, 2, and 3. You get the idea. Now, you want more than just 3 words, of course. You want to become the known expert in your niche. So you need stats, facts, things that support what you're saying. You want support words. 1, 2, and 3. The thing about adding more layers of information is that it can feel overwhelming, and this can cause brain blips where you know something but you just can't access it in the moment. So let me give you an example of how this system works so that never happens to you. The big idea I want you to take away from all this is that frameworks help you nail opportunity. So simplifying it, frameworks equal opportunity. And the 3 words that are key to this, the essence of everything that I want to share with you, is that, well, frameworks, what are they? Why are they important? They help you remember. How does that work? Why did they help you remember over other systems? And this helps you relax, which actually helps you recall information too. So these are the 3 key words. Framework, which are your branches. Remember, relax. And then each branch has got 3 support words that are related to it. And I can attach them and expand. So the first one, frameworks, is visual, organize, and client specific. It's a reminder that these are visual systems. A framework is a type of system. They help you organize information in a really easy way when you know how to do it. As long as you make it client specific, you will get the results that you are after. And then the other branches also have 3 keywords, support words that are the twigs. 40% connect, recall, for remember, and the last one in my case would be perception, authority, result, because when you are able to access information that adds to your credibility and authority, guess what? People remember you for it. The perception of you is off the scale for the right reasons. Your authority is cemented, and you get the result you're after. Organising and seeing information like this shows you how everything fits together and that you'll be okay. It becomes the way you think and link information, just like that, in an instant. So the second framework is plant your word tree to grow your recall and results. Now, you could do this and still not provide really important information. Not sharing it means you miss out on signing up a client, say. There's a simple way of fixing this, and it makes people want more from you because you make so much sense. Let me show you how to do this with framework number 3. Now, the 2 questions I have asked most during my time as a journalist, plus when moderating a debate or panel discussion at a conference, are, why is this important? And what's an example? Which is why, given a choice, I opt for experts who don't have this problem, because having complete answers, ones that don't beg for an obvious follow-up question, saves time and makes live interviews much more dynamic and interesting. Let me show you how you can make sure you nail this. Think of 3 obvious questions your ideal client would ask themselves. Include the answers in what you share. Now, I call this communicating in a closed loop. When you do this, you're more in control of what's put out because there's no need for editing. It could be someone who's in the audience recording you and posting it on their socials. So it's not only journalists who share what you put out. A really easy way to start communicating like this is to always include answers to my 2 most asked questions. So framework number 3 is think and speak in a closed loop, one that doesn't beg for extra context or detail from the perspective of your ideal client. When what you share can stand alone, clear and complete, you make so much more sense, which means you'll be sought after as a speaker or guest, and your message, brand, credibility and authority are amplified. You've now got 3 frameworks to organise information, but it's easy to make the mistake of focusing on communicating great value and forgetting to grow your business. This next framework shows you exactly what to include so you can deliver on your business agenda and don't end up only filling airtime or a speaker slot. Your brain is busy with a million things, deadlines, problems, doing the food shop, which means that keeping things really simple helps. Now, I came up with this framework to separate permanent information from temporary details in an easy to remember way. Let me show you what I mean. A house needs a solid base to stand strong. It's the same with communication. You need foundations that are secure and don't change. To figure out your communication foundations, think of these 3 concepts: what you do, why you do it, and the value that you bring. The answers shape everything that you share. For example, mine are high-impact communication tactics, raising your authority, and earning more from what you know and do. These 3 pillars are my solid foundation. I can weave them into anything and everything that I share, say, teach, and do. Now, it's important that you define yours because this is about what you want to be known for and do more of, and weave them in when you need a moment to gather yourself or something to lean on while you remember something important. Then comes the actual house, the rooms, the spaces. You can knock walls down and change them as your needs and phases of life change. It's the same when you communicate. It depends on what stage you're at and what you're offering. For example, I hold workshops, I have an online program, I've written a book, I have a newsletter. What I communicate depends on the interaction and the result that I'm after. And it's the same for you. You need to define this second tier of communication. It's pretty constant. It doesn't change, but what you share depends on the interaction that you're having. But some information does change. Let me show you what I mean. What a house or room really needs to make it just right for you is styling, and sometimes a makeover. Your launches and campaigns are your styling and makeovers, always evolving to showcase your expertise and what you offer. This is the 3rd type of information to define. It's not permanent, but it feeds into the solid foundation your business is built on. So framework 4 is the house framework. It organises your thinking into 3 types of information you want to define and embed in your head so that you serve your business agenda and not only fill airtime. If you're putting yourself out there to be known for the right thing by the right people, there's one more layer of information that places you in a different league, and it attracts higher fees. Let me show you what this is and how you can filter and arrange information with ease. This is framework number 5. What's more powerful? Linking what you're speaking about to a global problem, positioning you or your product as the solution, or only focusing on the product? You know the answer. Now, most of the people I've interviewed missed out big time because they'd see the interaction as an opportunity to talk about their product or launch without linking it to a mega issue going on in the world or something a global organization had just announced. I get clients to look at headlines and tune into what people are discussing in their niche before an important interaction. Weaving in timely information is a great way to cement authority and makes you much more memorable. But doing this means you've got even more information that you need to deal with. Let me show you how you can help your brain help you. Let's go back to the word tree. You can keep adding layers of information. For example, the words linked to the visual twig remind me that 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual, and that humans process it 60,000 times faster than text. Basically, the tree keeps growing. It's a 3D mental image that becomes a web because information from one twig connects with another. Patterns allow the brain to form associations, which is essential for quick recall and understanding. I call this expert web thinking, where you see or hear something and link it to something you already know. It could be something you overhear in the queue at the coffee shop or breaking news that's just out. This is framework number 5, your expert web. It's about making connections that bring what you know and do to life. When you get used to doing this, you'll start taking note of all sorts of information you see or hear when you're out on a walk, when you're working with a client, and slotting it into your web. Give your brain what it loves, images to work with. But how do you make sure you don't say something wrong that costs you when you're communicating? Watch this video next to find out.